Peter, I think you want to make a Brexit point. Fire away.
Hi, Jeremy. Yeah, I am confident about the future for our country, because I'm leader of National Rejoin March, and we're campaigning to rejoin the EU. And it's a campaign that's only started a couple of years ago and is already really big. The polling from YouGov has rejoined at 60% already. If you ask under 25-year-old, it's 80 to 90% people want to rejoin the EU. This is now before there's a mainstream campaign for rejoin even going. So I'm very optimistic for the future, because what that shows is we are rejecting this very vocal minority of far-right people in this country at the moment, and actually want to show that we want to head away from nationalism and start working with our European friends properly again. The polling even shows that it's not quite 50%, but we're about 48% would rejoin even if we took the euro. And again, this is without any campaigning. So I'm very optimistic. And also, I'm a bit confused by every time someone mentions the EU, you start ringing on about benefits. I don't really get why. Anything you talk about to do with benefits, we could do in the EU. And also things like you and me both know that we had way more controls over immigrants from the EU into the country if we used EU law, but we didn't use it. And the reason we didn't use it is because we need those people to help our economy. I'm a lorry driver, and our industry has been absolutely crippled by Brexit, leaving the single market. It's so desperate finding... The world has a shortage of lorry drivers, right? And everyone's on just about coping levels, and the UK was. But because we left the single market, we're now below that and we're struggling. And everything in this country is delivered by lorries. That means it affects the cost of everything. And that is a big part of the UK's inflation, is the cost of logistics. And I see it with my own eyes, and no one can deny it. I don't understand. If you try to deny that, in fact, I'd like you to hear, what do you think about that?
Okay, I will answer that point. But can I just ask you a quick question about the earlier point you made about the proportion of people who you say want to rejoin the EU? Why did that not feature at all in the election campaign last July? Because, you had all these parties, political parties, looking at all the polls about what people cared about. And Labour, who I'm sure are the most sympathetic to rejoining the EU with the Lib Dems, they both made a conscious decision not to talk about Brexit. And it barely featured at all in the campaign. I just wonder why you think, if such large numbers you say want to rejoin the EU, why didn't any of the parties, Labour or the Lib Dems, pick up on that and make it something they campaigned on?
Because they're all weak, Jeremy, that's why. They're all weak and all scared of this very vocal minority of far-right people all ranging on behind the likes of Musk and Farage at the moment. We need to not be scared and stand up for what we believe in. And I believe, hopefully, that the likes of Starmer and Ed Davey will start to do that. But I agree, it wasn't featured, but it wasn't featured by the politicians or the media. It certainly was featured on the ground, because we speak to lots and lots of people all around the country, and lots of people were talking about the effects of Brexit on the country on the ground. But you just didn't see it in the media, who were scared because half of them encourage us to vote to leave, and you don't hear it from politicians who encourage us to leave, because even Nigel Farage don't want to talk about Brexit anymore. Who wins something? I mean, England won the World Cup all them years ago, and we're still wanging on about it now, aren't we? If Brexit was so good, why does everyone want us to shut up about it, especially the people who told us to vote leave? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I'm afraid I don't agree, but interested that you call it. I'll tell you why I don't agree, because I don't think there is any desire to go back and rake over the coals of those Brexit arguments. I think people want to move on from that now, and make the most of the new opportunities. We have different opportunities. I'm not saying there aren't any downsides, but I think there are lots of upsides.